spreads. If you're betting on a massive outlier move, a long call, long put can be the way to go. If you're trying to make income, short put, short calls can be the way to go, but they got to be used in conjunction with stock. Now you pay the full premium when you buy a long call or put for maximum upside. But most of the time, spreads are the way to go if you're trying to take advantage of a move. They define your risk, they lower your cost, and are a pragmatic choice for generating consistent returns and managing the risk. Credit versus debit spreads, and this is where people are like, sometimes you're using credit, sometimes you're using debit. You know why? The difference, they're all tools in the toolbox. You use a debit spread when you have a strong directional view with a very specific price in mind, and you want to keep the cost down. You pay a net premium, that's your max risk, and usually it's cheaper than buying a straight call or put. Usually, it's not always. And it does your profit capture on that move is limited by the short strike, but it's a defined risk type of thing. You can use a credit spread when you're collecting premium, get paid up front. It's a great way to trade, and you're betting that the stock won't move below your strikes. Credit spreads are typically used in high probability income generation, and the reward is always capped. So I kind of hoped that was what the inquiry was about, but that's just kind of a high level there's more to it, but that's a high level summary of it. And Jack, yeah, I'm willing and able to hear what you got, what you put in there
Okay.
too.
Well, that's almost identical to what I said, Jeffrey. It's ironic, but let me first give the crowd the questions from our guy David Mound. The first question was, well, he's putting together a reference for you guys, so we're going to give this to you later. But these first three questions were, number one, when is it best to use stocks rather than options? And when is it best to use options rather than stocks? I said the best time to use stocks rather than options is when you want to build a long-term position in a stock, like I have over the years with NVIDIA and AVGO. Or when shorting a stock, it can be better to short it rather than use options because with options, you have to get that right within your expiration. With the stock, you have no time decay and you can afford to be wrong longer. It allows you to stay in the position. The best time to use options straight up is when you have a high conviction about a short term move. That's also what Jeffrey said. Also, to use options instead of stocks when you want to create income. You can't create income with a stock other than the dividend you get or selling a covered call. And basic options like covered calls and cash secured puts are great for income. Those are the two basic options that I use. Credit spreads are also great for creating income. And debit spreads are great for directional short term trades because you lower the cost dramatically. And I like debit spreads rather than credit spreads for a directional trade, and credit spreads rather than debit spreads for income. That's about it.
That sounds pretty good.
That's kind of what you said.
Yeah.
The debit spread, the main reason for the debit spread is like we talk about with Tesla. I mean, you could spend $3,000 buying one call, or you can spend $160 basically getting the same upside in that trade by doing a debit spread, right? And then credit spreads too. There's three reasons why I do those, but that's a huge part of what I do for income. And yeah, that was a great question David had. When is the best time to use stocks rather than options? Options rather than stocks, spreads, credit spreads versus debit spreads. All good stuff, and you'll see a report on that soon.
I had to swap headphones real quick. Forgot to charge my other ones. So anyway,
There
always
you
the
go.
Eagle Scout backup plan in place.
There you go. Well, speaking of backup plans, I just want to let you guys know that we are live on YouTube right now as well. I got the stream going for that. So that's something I'm
Awesome.
going to
Cool.
try to do because I know you guys were doing that. And then for some reason, we kind of stopped. So I want to get back to that, keeping us
Yeah.
live on
Thank
YouTube.
you. Thank
Well,
you. Were we
that'll have a replay going too, so everybody will
yeah,
be able to catch it up on YouTube if they
were
That's
miss
were
it.
right.
we were we ever live on YouTube before?
You were. And at some point, it just, we kind of stopped doing it. We were supposed to go in and re-upload all of the prior ones, but that never happened. So I'm like, I'm hosting this now. When I'm here, I'm going to make sure we're live on
Thank you,
YouTube.
Blake. And
You're
thank you
welcome.
for all the YouTube visitors. Hey, pop us in a question if this is your first time here.
That's
Let
right.
us know. Let us know what you want to see us cover. We might do it.
That's right. And Piet DeBrock says hello. So,
Pete DeBrock from overseas. Boy, he's a dedicated guy, man. I can't imagine waking up over there to trade over here.
no, that's what he's doing. So
That's what he does.
he loves it.
What's the time
Well,
frame over there right now, Pete DeBrock in the Netherlands?
Man,
It's
let's see what he
11:40
says.
here.
somebody asked if I could throw my description on the screen one more time. It was on YouTube. But here you go. That's right there. It is. Screenshot if you need it.
And Jan, you wanted to know the channel. It's Financial Wars, but that's the link. You can just go right to it. Piet DeBrock says, I love it.
Cool. You got to love it. What time is it over there, Pete?
Is he in France?
7 hours. So 6 p.m. Man.
Yep, 17. Oh, it's actually 17:40. So it's 5 p.m. 5:40.
Okay. All right.
That's not too bad, I guess.
That's not when I was in Rome, I thought, and I want to get an apartment here and I'll be our European correspondent. But then when I started
Yeah.
looking at the hours, I'm thinking, oh man, there's no way I could do it. I got too much pasta and pizza to be out eating. I got to get it done early.
Too much good food.
It is. I don't know if you've ever been over there, but the
I
pasta in
have,
Rome
yeah.
is not like the pasta here. Neither is the
Yeah.
pizza. It's amazing.
Totally different society, different way of life,
Yeah,
you
great
know?
people over there.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
so much fun. But you got to
Absolutely.
watch out for those unauthorized chariot races. I cracked 2 ribs in that thing.
Unauthorized chariot race.
Well, I didn't find out it was unauthorized until way later, but they had this makeshift coliseum, like kind of out in the country. And you could take
Oh.
a ride out there and take chariot racing classes. And it got a little out of hand when this dude, he got too serious, man. So, I'm not going to let him Thunderdome. Yeah, anyway, Rome's a good time. Got to get in early. Don't stay out too late in Rome. Could be
That's
bad.
right. That's right.
Watch out for those countryside chariot races. But other than that, you'd be good.
You'll be good to go. Oh, shoot.
I, I don't stray far from home. I've been to Mexico. I walked across the border. I've been to Canada. I've been to
Yeah.
Barbados.
Oh man, you got to get into the hot spots. That's where the action's at.
It's true. You do have to get over to Europe at least once in your life and
Yeah,
experience it.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
hop on one of those trains, like one of those trains in Germany or something, like one of those bullet trains, and just take it for like an hour, and you'll be in another country.
Yeah.
You'll be like,
Yeah,
oh,
you'll be pickpocketed 17 times before you get there, but yeah.
See,
there's
nothing like the good
truth.
old USA. I don't have to worry about pickpockets.
Me neither, not even in Rome. I don't know. I got some kind of vibe. They don't want me.
Just don't go to France. Don't go outside the Eiffel Tower, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, Europe is awesome. Yeah, Rome is
It
amazing.
is.
Anyway, somebody in the chat was joking
Anyways,
about stocks always go up. There you go. That's stocks going up for the last 150 years.
Well, it's manipulated. We talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
It's legal manipulation, and how it's done is the good old boys at the S&P index, they decide what companies are going to be in our index and what ones aren't. And if your stock isn't moving and grooving and doing it, you're going to get it thrown out on the street. And we're going to add a new stock who's doing great. That way we can always keep the index going higher.
That's kind of funny. They've kept this train going for 150 years.
They
I
know
mean,
what they're doing, man. If your company's not doing good, it's out. We're going to put a new one in. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, they've been doing it for 100 years, and it's never been the same stocks, right? It's
yep.
just the index keeps changing what's inside it. That's why guys like Buffett say just buy it and hold it. Not because he thinks these companies are always going to go up, but he knows these cats at the SPY are always going to put the hardcore players in.
Yeah, I mean, that's the whole point in getting an index fund is that it's always getting rearranged and you don't have to worry about it. Like if you're in something, if you're trying to recreate it yourself, you've got to worry about it. You got to swap stuff
All
in,
the
swap stuff
time.
out. But if you're just jumping in an index fund, they manage all that stuff for you and you pay for it. pay for the management. But hey, there's ways to get around that. You can buy SPY and write your own covered calls, and capture the extra dividends
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah. VOO
Cash
is
flow
the
SPY.
same thing with a really low management fee, VOO.
Yeah. And I just thought I'd show that off. Somebody in the chat was saying, stocks always go up. Well,
They
I mean,
do.
you have to, in general, they do, but you have to look at who's maintaining the list and things like that. Any individual stock, up, down, sideways, left, right,
Yeah. Buffett loves VOO. Um,
Well,
yeah, a
VU
lot.
is much larger than SPY. Everybody talks about SPY, but you come in here and actually look at it, and VU comes on the list usually higher than SPY.
Didn't know that.
Yeah. VU 16, number 16 here with $1.3 trillion, whereas SPY is somewhere down in here. Yeah, down here at only $600 billion.
Now, what's the difference in management fees? That's the reason.
Vanguard has that much larger chunk, and we go look at it. Management fees rolling on down. Yeah, the expense ratio 0.03 on VU.
0.3%. That's fine. That's fine for them doing the shuffling. That's worth it. What is it on this?
And then you roll down, look at SPY, and we got 0.09. So
Yeah,
three
three.
times more money.
That's a little rich. That's almost 1%. That's too
That's
much.
almost 0.1%.
Yeah, yeah.
But just sell one call a year and you already pay out, make all that
Pay the
back
whole
up.
thing. And selling calls, I can't overemphasize selling calls. I think I told you that story. I just reread it where this older lady had Walmart, and that was her only stock. And she figured out through the help of another guy how to sell covered calls against her Walmart, and she's making 40 grand a year selling covered calls. And that's made all the difference in her life. That extra 40 grand without having to sell the stock, it's perfect for her.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a huge difference.
It really
And
does.
if you're going to buy and hold something and, Jack has his reasons he doesn't cash flow some things. Usually if I have 100 shares of something, I'm cash flowing it if there's any kind of liquid options at all. And one of the things though, VU doesn't have quite the depth of options because a lot of people just hold it. But you can fly out here a whole year. We're sitting here in December 25, so a year out is really January 27.
Yeah.
And look at these premium. I mean, you go way up here and still get a hefty premium and just ride it. If you want to bet on 72, 7,300, you could sell one, get an extra $1,000 off of this, plus all the appreciation along the way and not have to sweat it.
That's the
But
buy and hold and forget it right there, VU.
you can do the same on SPY. You can roll in here, come out, a lot more options, a lot more option players. So if you're actually trying to cash flow, SPY may be a better way to play.
Yeah.
That's what that's telling you. But you can fly out here to December 26. You can roll up here in the same kind of price area. And you see, we got plenty of premium up here. In fact, more premium on SPY because you can play all the way up in the 800s and still get $1,000
By selling a covered call.
selling a cover call. You buying shares right where we are, selling for SPY reaching 8,000, SPX reaching 8,000, get $1,000 and just sit on it. Then you also get that over 100 points, 120 points of upside appreciation. So
Mm.
$12,000 there or $1,200 there. Is that 1,200, 12,000? I don't know. 100 points, add some zeros, 12,000. Yeah. So
Very good.
crazy. So using the tools, that's part of the whole thing. Like which way's the best? There is no best. It really depends on what you're trying to capture. That's, Jack, I hope you and I try to hit this home every day is that there are stock options, they're all tools. And you got to use them properly. You don't use a screwdriver as a hammer. It doesn't usually work too well. And you don't use a hammer as a screwdriver, trying to pound screws in doesn't usually work too well. It can work, can get the job done, but it's not the intended purpose. So trying to take advantage of, long-term moves with options, maybe not the best way to do it. When stock tends to be the better tool, and then using options to boost up the short-term income on that position. So it's all, framing what you're trying to do in the market. That's kind of the bottom line. And if you're too new to even know, keep coming back. Jack and I are going to teach you a few things.
Yeah. Mostly how to make cash flow.
So, that's, you don't use a screwdriver as a wrench, most of the time. It's just right tool for the right job.
That's it.
And if you don't know how to figure it out, you can go to GPT and ask it. Like, hey, I expect you can just roll in. You go to Tesla and you be like, hey, I expect Tesla to go from 450, where we are now, up to 550. And I expect that to happen by March, if that's the way you feel about it. Now, I have different ways to teach you how to pick out upside targets and then timeframes and stuff. But if you have no idea how to do that, you got to play more conservatively. Like if you're not good at picking direction, if you're not good at picking time frame, if you're not good at doing anything in the market, you've got to recognize your skills and play more conservatively. The most conservative strategy that Jack and I use is the wheel. What do you say, Jack? I mean, you got
I'd say
anything to
it's
add?
yeah, it's that. It's all that in a bag of chips. It's the most conservative, but it's almost as close as my tech portfolio in terms of appreciation and return on investment.
I'm not saying it doesn't do good. I mean,
Does
but
great.
but you don't have to have necessarily a high conviction in the stock doing anything in particular.
That's what I love about it. So when I build that portfolio, I have to have a high conviction. I have to have also a lot of money, or it doesn't work, right? For building a portfolio. But this is so much easier. It takes way less capital, way less time, and it's going to be more profitable now the way we're doing it.
Yeah. Between combining your and my power to make income, people are talking about making 14 grand in the last month in the chat. I mean, it's just unbelievable
It is.
the power that we can unlock for people, and things don't have to go anywhere.
No.
That's the kind of the beauty. Like this gap trade that I've been talking about since back in July hasn't really gone anywhere
Yep.
at all. It hadn't gone anywhere for years, yet I've still been able to turn this into thousands of dollars of cash flow.
Yep. And Lynn asks, when you're trading for income, how far out do you set the expiration? Like a week.
But it depends, right? It depends. When you roll down here, you have tools at your disposal, and Jack and I try to teach you this stuff. There's a lot of wheel traders don't pay attention to this right here. This chart right here shows you where the maximum bang for the buck is. If your time horizon is only looking out a month for a trade, where's the best bang for the buck?
1 week.
1 week out. That's not always the case. This is not the same chart on every stock. Now, if you have unlimited time frame, 6 months out is probably a better place to play. Right here. But that also commits you to a trade for 6 months. A lot of things can happen in 6 months in the market. I like to have the flexibility of playing. I'll give up that little 4% bonus on the IV for the flexibility of being able to make choices every week. All right.
Let's go over the wheel a second for Lori.
Yeah, I mean, we went through that quite a bit yesterday. Unfortunately, we didn't have the recording going. Today we will. But here's the basics of the wheel. We spent quite a bit of time on this yesterday.
This is the backbone. These are the principles and concepts. This is not carved in stone. Remember,
Yeah,
principles and concepts.
This is not set in stone. The right way to do it is very flexible. Making money, any way you do it that makes money is the right way in my book.
Yeah,
there's no lots of YouTubers, lots of social media people, lots of websites will have articles on this is the way that you do it, carved in stone. I just don't feel that anybody has the monopoly on the right way.
And you got to be flexible. You don't want rules carved in stone. You want a little flexibility with everything. So this is
But
kind of our way of doing it.
yeah, number one though, like I feel like this is a rule that's no matter how you do it, number one, you've got to want to own the shares. If you don't want to own the shares of the company, you should not do this strategy on that stock. Period. End of story.
Amen.
Why? Because doing the wheel involves owning the shares of the stock at some point in time, if you
You're
do it
not
long
married
enough.
to it, but you could get it. So you got to want it.
So, number one, step one in this whole process, you find a stock that, hey, I might want to own shares in that. And you sell a put at a price that you would want to own the shares at. Like if, say, Coca-Cola is trading at $70 and you don't want to pay $70, you'd rather have it at $65. Don't ever sell a put above $65. It's that simple. Always sell your put below 65 and then you will always get Coca-Cola below 65 if it ever comes down there.
Now, if it
That's
doesn't come down there, you've sold a 65 put. So what is that? You've sold someone the right to put the stock to you at 65 until expiration. And you got paid when you sold that put.
Now when you sell an option, you have the obligation to do something. It's a legal binding contract obligation. So when you're selling a put, you have the obligation to buy the shares at the strike price that you agree to anytime until expiration. So it can happen early. It can happen right up to the expiration date. It actually gives you a couple hours past the expiration date even. But that once that contract's expired and gone and cleared out, that contract's done. You can do it again. So step two right here, after you've sold the put and collected the money, you can let that put expire worthless, or you can close it. Once you closed it, you're no longer obligated to buy that stock. So you can close that put, or you can let it expire worthless, hopefully for a profit. If you do any of these things and close it for a loss, you're doing it wrong. In Jack and I's point of view. Unless you just gotta, you're sacrificing a small loss for a greater good. And that's a more complicated nuance in all this. But this creates a wheel right here. It's a circular trade. You go back to step one. You didn't actually buy the stock in this smallest little wheel of the wheels. Now, the wheels keep getting bigger as we move down the list. Step two, you don't close the put. Maybe it's in the money, and you take this assignment if it's in the money.
We bought Coke. Coke goes to 64. We sold the 65 put. They assign us the stock at 65.
Now, 65 is the strike price, but we got paid to sell the 65. Maybe we got $1 to sell the 65. So when we get assigned those shares at 65, because we already collected $1 per share, our actual cost is only 64. So now the stock's at 64. We paid 64. We're at scratch right now.
Now we want to cash flow it some more. So what do we do now?
So we could sell if we wanted to cash flow it. I mean, if for some reason we've had to change a heart, we could sell the shares right away at 64 or better. If we sell it at 64, we made $0, no harm, no foul. If we sell it anything above that, we made money. If you sold it below 64, though, you lost money, and that's the wrong way to do it.
We want to keep the cash flow rolling in. So we sold the put at 65. The stock went below 65, and we got put the stock at 64, and we made $100. But we want to keep cash flowing it. So what's our next step?
So next, we can sell a call at or above the original strike price, or anything above our cost basis, really. So you could sell
67
you can
strike.
you can sell a 65. That was the original strike price. Then when you sell a call, this is now to calls. We're selling a call. You're taking on the obligation to sell your shares at the strike price anytime up and through expiration. And this can even happen if the stock is still below the strike price. It's very rare, but say there's a short squeeze going on. Probably not in Coke, but maybe in something like GME. Somebody needs those shares for some reason, and it's cheaper to call your call than it is to go try to get it in the squeezing market. All right? That can happen. Like it's happened to me at least twice in all the years I've traded. I've been called on something that was below the strike price. It's very rare, but it can happen. If you don't ever want to get called out the shares, do not sell a call against your shares. Period. Anything to add, Jack?
So far so good.
Now that brings in more premium. Maybe we get another dollar, right? So if that stock price went from 64 back up to 65, we got called out. How much money did we make in the trade? In this theoretic trade we got going on? $2. We made $1 to get put the stock, and we made $1 to get called the stock, and we made $2, and the stock did absolute nothing.
Nothing.
Went nowhere.
And that right there is the basis of how you make 40% a year, even if the stock doesn't go up 5% a year, because you're cash flowing it using cash secured puts and covered calls. Options is the key to the money, not a stock going up in price.
Now, if it doesn't go up to 65, we can let that call expire worthless if it never goes in the money, or we can close it for profit if we're, really close or something like that. We want to close early and roll up, or, there's there's 100 other things you can do with this. This is just a simple kind of outline of how it works. And then you repeat step 3B, you can wheel it right here. You can wheel it, going all the way back up here. These all have circular, choose your own adventure type things to them. This is why it's called the wheel, because there's a lot of circular actions going on here over and over and over.
And the only way to ruin it is to not let the wheel roll. You can't stop doing it.
To cut any of these short and close it out and book a loss, you messed up. That's the long and the short of how you mess it up. Now, moving on down here, we can let the shares get called away, and we already kind of talked about that. And that's kind of the wheel in a nutshell. And how far out on options? It's all like back to Jack used to always go out a month. And I showed him this IV term chart right here and how some stuff pays just a ton more money going out a week.
Yeah. But I got to tell you now, this has cut drastically into my fishing time because I did them on a monthly basis because I'm a very casual type trader. I don't want to be staring at the screen often. So if I set them and forget them a month out, that worked for me. Now, Chris, I got to pay attention. So that's that. But it's fine. I love Jeffrey's way he trades, and that 50,000 a month challenge is like one of the best things I've ever seen in my life.
Now, TSLL right here, that chart doesn't look anything like the gap chart I just had up. Right now, currently, you can trade out a month for basically what you can trade out a week.
And this changes.
And this changes drastically. We had this chart looked like this not too long ago. It had a big drop and then a little spike.
Yeah.
And the highest was right here. Like you couldn't even go further out and get paid more.
But look at this chart action, this price action. This is nothing. Yet that beta is still telling you this is twice as volatile as the broad market. And when you got a $20 stock, that's $2,000 to get into for cash secured put with a beta over. It's telling you that it's 3 times more volatile than the broad market, but this price action is telling me it isn't. So there's a bit of an anomaly here. But like I say, this stock has everything going for it. The price is great for secured puts because it doesn't cost a lot, $2,000. It would only be $400 on margin, 20% of the stock price. So that's awesome. And It does pay a dividend. So if you're hanging on to some of it, like I am, you're going to get paid that dividend. But I'm laying heavy into this, 10 lots at a time on the naked puts. I did the 18 naked puts yesterday. And if I got the stock, I'm long it and I sell calls against it. TSLL has just been amazing.
Short Bitcoin going down. That means IBIT is ripping. Yep. Here we go.
I bought that yesterday and sold the 53.50 calls for 36. They're probably going to take it from me now.
Now look at this baby right here. This is
Yeah,
a
that's
whole
animal.
different chart. And look at this. The 1 week out.
Yeah.
You can't
And
play 2 weeks out. You can't play a month out. You can't play 2 months out. You can't play 3 months out.
mm-mm,
You either play 1 week
for a year.
or 1 year.
And look at how drastic that week is. A lot of times it's not that much more than week two, but in this case, this is clearly telling you, and you can get this for free on TradingView. It's clearly telling you which option you should sell if you're seller and which you should buy if you're a buyer. You want to buy those lower ones.
If you're trying to buy, 1 month out is the sweet spot to buy.
But if you're selling, that means you're bringing in premium today. So you
If
want
you,
the highest premium you can get relative to the price of the stock.
yeah, if we're gonna sell options, we're selling up here 1 week out. If we're buying, this is the sweet spot for opportunity. 1 month out. Anything
Yeah.
longer costs you more. Anything shorter costs you more.
Yeah, and that's this is an interesting one because even though we're showing calls and puts, we have both sides of this. I think you do too. I'm long the stock and I've optioned it out with a covered call, and I've got naked puts on it. So we're trading this thing both sides.
I'm actually at 58 with my covered calls. I got put over here at 51, I think it was, on this drop. And now I'm sitting here with a 58 sold against. I had a 53 sold against it right here, or 52 maybe. 50, 51, 52. I didn't get called out either way. It ended up right here last last week, and then now I'm up here to 58. That's gonna be a nice upside right there.
Yeah, yeah. I got this one 51 and change and sold the 53 and a half. Bodine wants to know how you get that volatility graph. It's on the
Um,
more technicals.
you just scroll down like it. You you have to have this panel. I think you get it from this little button over here. This little set of dots. You have to have this panel that tells you about the stock, the metrics and all this stuff. You just start scrolling down, and there may be little buttons you have to expand to get more details, but it's right down in there. So when they added options in TradingView, which hasn't been that long ago, they started adding these graphs right here.
They just added that portfolio feature too, which I'm loving.
So there you go. There you go. I mean, I if this recovers, this could very well pop back to a new all-time high. CZ, the guy who Trump pardoned and Trump has no idea who he was. He ran Binance. Um, he came out yesterday at a big Bitcoin conference saying that he thinks the 4-year cycle of Bitcoin is dead and we're going to have this super cycle and we're going to go to crazy high prices and blah, blah, blah. Maybe
250
he's
by
right.
the end of the year.
Maybe he's right. Maybe he's not. But, IBIT, if it follows my technical pattern, gets back above this resistance right here, very key resistance, right in that 58 area where I sold. We have the potential to come on up here, 76. And that'll be a pretty sweet trade if I ride this from 50 up to 76. That's $26 of upside with 100 shares. I just have 100 shares. I haven't gone crazy because I'm not convinced we're not in crypto winter. We're going to take another leg down until we get through this resistance. Then I'll probably start going heavier. But $26 times 100 shares. That's $2,600 just on the shares, plus all the calls and puts that I've sold along the way. Starts getting this thing closer to $3,000 or $4,000
There you go.
just on 100 shares. And really, when you zoom out and look at it, this thing hasn't gone anywhere for years.
And that's nice because the lack of volatility makes it easier for you to trade, right? Unlike like
Yeah.
I talk about AVGO, how you got to watch that thing, man. If you sell a covered call on that and you don't want to get called out, you got to watch it because it's stronger than when it's in that trend, which TSLL is not in a trend. But if you look at AVGO, man, that thing can get away from you.
And, people talk about my price patterns. I like them because I've been doing this thing for a long time. I learned all the fundamental analysis. I didn't really do very good with that. I learned all the technical analysis stuff. I didn't really do very good at that. I learned, reading tea leaves and, Mars and retrograde and Mercury and, crossing above the moon and the this and that, and didn't really do that good. And then I learned some Fibonacci analysis and Elliott wave stuff. And all of a sudden, I started getting it right a lot. Made $1 million in 2020, in fact. And that kind of set me up to be a guru. Like I wasn't a guru before this. I was just a trader. And still mostly just a trader. In fact, that was, Jack talking about my 50K challenge. Me trading prior to becoming a guru, in fact, prior to this year, is all in retirement accounts. And you know what the lame thing about that is I'm way under 65. So I can't really use any of that money.
Are you going to
So
take it when you're 65 or 67?
maybe 75. I don't know. We'll see what
Yeah.
the rules are back, when I get to retirement age.
Yeah.
But my friend Rob Booker that got me into being a guru back in 2021, he challenged me in April to build a taxable account that generates 50, he was like, his challenge to me was generate enough money in a taxable account that it covers all your expenses and everything you need to live off of. And I thought about it for about 5 minutes and I was like, challenge accepted. Like, I'm going to do this. I put the number to it. That number was $50,000 a month. All right. That may sound crazy to you that anybody could generate $50,000 a month. In fact, I'm a long way from it right now. This is my trading profit this month. 1 month, 6,700 bucks. 6,740 right there. That's way less than 50K, right? So this is not an easy challenge, right? Nothing in life you ever work for is easy. I'm going to get to this goal. Jack, you're pretty convinced I'm going to get to this goal.
I know you are. I would never bet against you. I'm doing it myself now. That's how convinced I am. I love it.
It's a great idea. And, how do you start? You start by making $1 and keeping it for a week, keeping it for a month, and then you're on the path. It's just a matter of compounding that. How many times you got to compound it before you get to the 50K goal? If you can consistently make $1 every month, eventually you can consistently make 50K a month.
Exactly.
It's just a
Now,
matter of compounding.
now you want to reverse engineer it.
No,
You would need 1,600,000 at 40% per year to get that 50,000, which is
yeah,
totally possible.
I target 40% ROI. You'll hear me say that a lot on a lot of these wheel type trades. I'm looking for 40% ROI. And what Jack just said, when you look at that, it takes an account size of 1.6 million at 40% ROI, return on or ROR, return on risk, using the whole account. That generates basically 600,000 a year, which breaks down to 50K a month.
And you don't need to put any of that 50K back into the account.
Yeah,
Right? You're just
I
going to
can just
use
sit
that.
on this.
Yeah,
I can sit on an account this big and use all that money
right.
to live off of.
Spend it, give it away, whatever you want. But that's a good amount. When you're making 50K a month, that's a good that's a good life. I can tell you from experience.
Yeah, I had a year like that last year, and I was able to do things for people. I was able to help kids, help help family members, get people out of jam on
Yeah,
things.
yeah,
I didn't,
yeah, yeah.
if I needed to replace an appliance, it was no big deal. That's not
It,
the way it is this year
you get
for me.
somebody out from underneath a medical bill, It's like you extended their life, right? Medical bills are killing people. You take some of that off their books, or
Yeah, I was able to help a lot of people and do a lot of good, for my people around me. And it felt good and I liked it. This year, I'm not like that. I don't have that kind of thing going on. Um, this guru thing is a life of ups and downs. And right now, it's not as good as it was last year for me. Just it's just not. For whatever reason, the market the way it is, and people a little tighter on everything, and it just compounds into not as awesome. So I'm trying to build up the trading account. Like last year, I put a lot of that money into retirement account. This year, I can't touch any of that money without paying a penalty. I locked it up. I can still make tons of money, but it's not doing me any good till I'm 65 and I'm still in my 40s. So I got a ways. Got a ways to go. So this is why the vision, why. That's my why. All right.
but at 65, you wouldn't quit doing it. It's not really work. My old man retired from the mill, the steel mill, at 65 because you didn't want to go. You couldn't go. Your body was broke down from making steel at 65. But what we do, it's just this. I'm not going to quit doing it.
Yeah. And year to date, just start in April. This is the kind of gain I have. And this is not like $150,000 account or anything like that. This account started around 75K when I first got my initial in there. I've slowly moved it up to about 85K. Probably briefly pushed it above 100K. This is just pulling money out of other accounts and other places and but then I had to bleed it back down. It's probably back down around 80K. I had to take money back out. And
You need to sell a little more moonshine, get that back up, Dustin.
the more money you can put into it, the faster you can grow it.
That's it. And now we get this question all the time about what expiration do we use, but we don't stick to it. Like, tomorrow, Wednesday, is a great time for me to buy to close some options I have expiring on Friday and then resell those out for the following Friday. So, it's just trying to be efficient on a week to week basis. If I'm up 90% on an option that I sold, I'll probably buy it back and roll it out. But if not, I'll just let it expire worthless.
If I can make 40% ROI on an option that expires this Friday, and I can make 40% ROI on an option that expires next Friday, to me, I would rather do the one that expires this Friday because there's less stuff that can go wrong
Mm-hmm.
between today and Friday than there is from today to next Friday.
Shortest time possible. Yep. Now, Bodine says that Cybertruck would be a great moonshine running vehicle. I
There you
never
go.
thought of that. You could outrun everybody in it. It's quiet. But here's the thing, Bodine. Not only would the Cybertruck be good at running moonshine, but you could be making it in the back of the truck as you're running it.
You
How
know,
about that?
it doesn't run faster than a radio.
Now, that is funny, but it doesn't make any noise.
Doesn't run faster than a radio
That's
though. And cops
funny.
cops have a tendency to radio their buddies for help.
Yeah. Well, unless the cop like moonshine too, he'd be stunned if you slid the cover back and showed him the still back there. You say,
Stunned.
here's a jar. Let me off. Okay.
Here's some handcuffs. Put these on while I take a.
I thought it was legal. No, is it not legal to? Can you make shine legally or no?
As long as
Like
you have a license for it, I ain't got no license.
you could brew beer in your house. You don't. You can brew beer at home, right?
I don't know anything about what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Since we're
See, you're
live
not
on
a
YouTube right now,
you're
I
not a
don't know
good liar.
anything about. I don't know anything
You're
about
not a
this.
you're not a good liar, Jeffrey.
For the record, there's no bootlegging going on here in Market Masters.
No,
Put
not
that on the
until we get
record.
together in Jacksonville. Then, if the cops can catch us, it would be like Smokey and the Bandit.
Dukes of Hazards over here.
As long as you don't run it, I guess you can have it. You just can't sell it, right? You can't. You can possession isn't a crime, right?
I don't know anything
Intent to
about it.
distribute is
Yeah.
a crime.
I don't know anything about it.
I think you
Jeffrey's
know
pleading
everything
the
there
fifth.
is to know.
It's kind of like I was watching that show Jail on Monday night on Reels, and this guy looked about like you, Jack, down there from Florida, and he came in and he was on possession with intent to sell. And he was like, "Hey, I gotta make some money and survive my retirement."
Yeah. Jacob says we're another show canceling moment is upon us. We can't
Yep.
talk about Shine. We can talk about Shine ain't illegal to talk about, right?
That's
It's
right. It's
fine.
not illegal to talk about.
Yeah, as
Yeah.
long as you go to the ABC store and buy it, yeah, it's no problem.
That's
It's
right.
legal.
Just head down to get that stuff in the jar that's specially made. It says
Yeah,
Old Smoky Mountain Moonshine.
yeah,
There
there you
you
go.
go.
You just go buy a jar, and
Okay, hold on a minute now, Jeffrey. What the heck is that?
Do you is that your
Better be a jar of
breakfast? Your
water.
breakfast Shine?
breakfast shine, lunch shine, afternoon
Are you
shine.
sipping all day? It's okay. You're among friends. You can tell us. Are you sipping all day?
Not me, man. Not me. I just, I know a guy. I
I
don't
know
do.
I am. Like
I gotta stay focused, man. I watch these charts. That's how I
I
keep up
know.
with this.
I know. You can't be drinking and smoking, doing
So,
drugs when you're trading.
yeah, here's the deal. If you want to sell on iBit, circling back to how we make money this week, right here, I have a tool that I use. I'm paid for this tool. It's run by Rockwell Trading. It draws right on the chart. Where's the 37% ROI right there? If I
And
wanted to
tell
dial it up, want to dial this up to 40, I want to know where the 40% is. Just dial it in right here. And it shows me 40% right there. 50-50. I can
down
sell the
on
50-50.
the lower right hand corner, that's what I use. Yeah, I pull
And
that up right there. Yeah,
we
that's
can
what
look
I
at it
use
right
right
here.
there.
For this Friday, you can come in here, sell a 50-50. Or if you want to roll out 2 weeks, you can do that too. Right over here.
So
Look at
it's
the 19th.
pulling real time market data for you. So it's like a don't make me think, right? I used to do this longhand, like Jeffrey was talking about, where you're actually using a calculator in your brain. Now you don't have to use your brain or a calculator. You just that's done it for you. So if you just type in your parameter, and we talk about we want 40% per trade to stay on that 40 ROI. This gives you everything you need and picks the option for you, and it's the best tracking tool I've ever seen. So
And,
after you do the trade, you put it in there, tracks everything for you.
and this kind of proves the point right here. It picks the same strike for this week and for next week to make the same ROI. It's like, why would you go out further when you can just play this Friday and then make a
Yeah.
choice again next Friday or next week? That just kind of proves the point. It's got December 12th, 50-50, December 19th, 50-50, almost the same ROI.
Bodine
So,
says AI doing all of our thinking for us. Now we can just drink shine all day and be happy.
you drink too
Yeah.
much shine, though, you get that liver sclerosis.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Gotta be careful.
Yeah. You got to be careful.
Everything in moderation.
Hmm. That's what they say.
I like to stay lucid, though. I mean, come on.
Yeah. You got to stay lucid. You know, I don't believe in that everything in moderation thing, but I love to stay lucid.
I'm bringing you a special cigar.
I don't like. I don't like anything in moderation. That's just like why.
And Jack will be like, "Oh, I like this new cigar," and then he'll be laying out on the beach, like
Yeah.
talking about how pretty rainbows the stars are, or
Let's
whatever.
see. Bring it. Yeah, if you guys don't know, you got to be in the Turnmeyer Trading Lab to come and visit us in Jacksonville. You got to be in the Jack Carter Diamond Club. Both of these are easy to get into. You get everything we got now and everything we're going to have in the future, and you get to be with us in Jacksonville for a couple days.
A couple people
Right.
ask, some
Well,
people
real quick,
asking if you got to be a robot to trade. It's like you don't have to be a robot. I trade all these trades on Canfo all myself. I don't use any automated trading. And
no automated trading. Well, real quick, guys, if anybody's interested in that, if you want to go to Jacksonville, you want to hang out with Jack and Jeffrey, if anybody's interested in that Diamond Club, put your phone number and email in the chat, and I can send that over to the team.
Yeah. Yeah. You
So,
want to come. You get everything Jeffrey has, or you got everything I have, or everything we're going to have in the future.
Oh,
It's
there you
really,
go.
really cool. Yeah. And we
There you
have a
go.
good time there. I mean, if you think we're having a good time now on Zoom, wait do we get live and in person. We're going to have a really good time.
And then add in
So
Lance and add in whoever else, and
Nate will be there.
Roger.
Lance will be there. Maybe Nate will be there with his 15 kids. It'll be a good time.
is it only
I heard
15?
he had 3 more kids in the last 4 months.
I was gonna say, is it only 15?
Did he have 3 more kids in the last 4 months? That would be amazing.
I have no idea. It takes
Yeah.
at least 9 months to hatch one.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't think in Nate's case he's got he's not got almost a full baseball team.
Got a
And he's
full
not even
team.
21 yet. That's the craziest part. I'm getting him. He can't do nothing to defend himself till later. All right.
Yeah, he looks like he's about 17.
He got pulled over when he was in Jacksonville. The cop didn't believe him. He didn't even believe it was his kids. No, that's not true. I gotta slow down.
Oh, Jack.
I love Nate, man. He knows it.
He does. He,
Yeah,
he does.
Nate's our boss, so just
Yeah,
just
Nate's
so
our
everybody
boss.
knows.
Yeah. Nate is our boss. So we got to be careful. He has 7 kids or he has 9 kids, Barbara. I think he's got 2 he hasn't told anybody about yet that he just got.
Yeah,
However you look at it, Nate is getting it in. That's all I'll say.
he came through here and he didn't even, let me know so I could come meet everybody. I was like kind of disappointed.
Jacksonville, February.
February 9th and 10th. Coming in hot.
Coming in hot. Yeah, we are.
That's only 2 months away. I mean, that's why I say coming in hot. Like that's only, it'll be here before we know it.
John Dillon says, I just became a Diamond Club member because of the jokes on his Market Masters. Yeah, that's funny. A dangerous tool in the wrong hands. Yeah, the imagination is a dangerous tool. And John, yeah, good. Yeah,
Imagination.
maybe he has a couple-headed reps. Lynn, you're starting it. Lynn, you got on me for starting it about the red-headed stuff, and now here you go tossing it out there, Lynn.
Yeah, Jack. Yeah, I'm a nerdy guy. I don't usually look for trouble. That's the whole thing. If I don't bring Kimberly with me, I may be too goody two shoes for all y'all. Like, I mean, I talk a
Well,
big game, but I don't get in trouble usually.
you are when I'm there, so just prepare yourself for it. I already got us 2 get out of jail passes, so you're getting in trouble. That's all I'm saying. You're gonna get in it, and you're gonna like it.
All right.
All right, Blake, what's up next?
Well,
Yeah,
I was going to ask you guys. I mean, what is up next? Because I'm looking over here on my calendar and I don't even see anything. Is there something you guys want me to show? I mean, I'm not opposed to it.
I'm not even sure. Let me see if my team even told me what we were doing today.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because
I didn't get a message from my team. They're giving me the Rodney Dangerfield treatment this week.
I mean, here's the thing. If you guys want to run something, I can quickly get a link if that's
I did something yesterday that we were kind of decoupled from Market Masters here, and if nothing else, we could rerun that.
let me reach out to Jono.
See if we got the replay from
What-
yesterday.
What was it called?
It's called Supercharge Alerts.
Oh yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, my team says that today was Jack pitching, but
Do you have a deck, Jack? Are you ready
I
to
got
go
nothing.
live?
I got nothing.
yeah, Jack's got nothing. Jack doesn't even know what we're supposed to be selling. So
No.
Well, and that was the thing. I didn't either. I just checked the checklist and I'm like, I guess we're just doing the show today.
All
I mean,
right.
we can just do the show and wrap up, and hey, we'll see everybody
Come
tomorrow.
back tomorrow and tell your friends. Tell your friends to come back tomorrow too. We're gonna do something even
We don't
more.
always have to sell you something. Some days we can just, have
If
a
you
good day.
If you think this was fun, wait till you see tomorrow. We're gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, come back
And
tomorrow.
now we're
Just,
live.
just wait until you see what I bring in tomorrow.
Okay. All right. All right. I already saw that little.
All right.
I don't
That's
want
it.
to know what else
Easy.
you got under
Easy.
that
Make
desk.
sure we're not getting canceled.
Hey, I got all sorts of stuff on this desk. I got a Lotus.
You got some illegal Legos.
I got a little Johnny Five robot. I
Yeah.
got a
Toys.
I got a D11 bulldozer I'm building.
Nice. You need some grandkids. If I've ever seen a dude that needs a grandkid, it's you, Jeffrey.
I got a dumpster fire.
All right. Well, guys, I have the video from yesterday.
There you go. You can play it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let it
Might
roll,
as,
baby. Let it roll.
might as well. Let me get it pulled up here.
And we'll
All right.
And I
stop
know
the comedy show and get back to Market Masters.
that's right. Here, I'm going to stop your sharing there, Jeffrey.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow, everybody.
Adios.
For
That's
another
right. And I'll
edition
be
of Martin
back
Masters.
too.
Well, yeah. So what you're about to see is